So now I'm stuck here for a bit. I kind of felt like I have like purpose. I have to help this girl with herself, like her emotions and her feelings and her home situation and financials and you know what really good friends do to help each other out. And I'm not a bad person. I have my times where I feel like I'm a monster, but I'm I just have to remind myself I'm only human. I At this point I'm staying there for a bit and I moved back to my place for a bit. I'm constantly going back and forth and I decided to get a job and I worked at a hotel for quite a bit. I became a custodian and one of the housemaids kind of thing. So I was doing like two, three things while I'm there, and I was really good, and I was really praised on what I was doing for a bit. I didn't pay too much, but enough to survive. I had to cut my hair and change my style up for a bit for the job. I didn't like too much. I I remember just waking up feeling weak and depressed that each day is gonna be the same thing. So if I wasn't working, I was over at the girl's house. I was staying the night and staying there. But if I knew I was working, I'd just go home and stay there. So I would only pretty much go on random days during the week for a few days. Well, like a day or two, and walk back. And it's like almost a 40-minute walk because I'm walking from New Brunswick to Quebec. Um, this time I think my brother came back with me and he had like a couple of different girlfriends here and there because this is the span of a couple of months. And I think him and I got into a fight and went to bitter ends. And he went to our mom and he kind of just started saying stuff to her. And because of that, cops got involved, and I and her, everyone was in trouble. And I ended up um, going to court. It was a very random process because they didn't know what to do with me. Like, I'm with a minor, but my intentions were pure, and they took that into consideration, and it was like anonymously tipped, but I know who it is. I know my brother told me it was him and my mom. So I remember just feeling sad and angry, and I kind of just gave up. I didn't really care anymore. I went through with it, and eventually, her and I had to stop seeing each other for until she was at least 16 or a 2 3 year, like kind of like a contract not to see her or talk to her for 2 3 years. So I'd rather take that than jail time. I mean, but during the time span, I was alone. I basically told my mom off. I disowned her. My brother, he decided to go off somewhere and live his own life, and I'm once again all alone. in my apartment, nothing going for me. I kind of just quit my job because I was gonna commit suicide. I couldn't take a day like this anymore. Like everything was the same thing every single day. And so I start self harming again and just feeling drained and weak. And I don't even know how I survived this long. Like it was such a dark time for me at this point. My place was dirty and there was garbage everywhere. I was all full of bruises and scars, and I had no friends or family. Like every day was this. I took 2 hour long showers, listening to music, singing, and just feeling sad and comfort. And if I wasn't doing that, I was just watching YouTube and watching series of TV shows till days passed by. I didn't really eat too much. I was just drinking water. That was about it. And I had to live a day without like being with this girl that I wanted so much to care and protect and be there for. So once in a while, I would message her mom and say like, "How was everything and how is her and is she still around and what she's doing?" And most of the time, she was fine, but I know she was hurting, and I couldn't do anything about it. Like eventually, I found like this really chill dude, and his name is Robert, and he became a really good friend of mine, and we just started talking and chilling, and he took me in for a bit. Not that I was homeless, but I had like it wasn't a home. It was a hell. So I stayed with him for a bit, and his mom became like my mom, and it was like on and off for like that for like 2 years basically. Like it was 2 years that this guy became like a brother to me, and his mom was like my mom. And we became really close, and then eventually I found a new friend named Jamie, and he's like a wrestling gamer fan just like me, and we hit it off really well. So I ended up only having three friends that I can call my best friends, and they're not even my best friends; they're my brothers, which is Jamie, Tebow, Robert Hoggood, and Tyler Doucette. They're like my brothers. And at this time, I lost my childhood friends, because they have their own lives. Parts of them gave up on me, and it was just fine. I accept that it's your life. I'm not gonna hold you back from what you want to do. I understand I'm an asshole at times. I know I'm a downer. My brother, he had his girlfriend, and he took off somewhere to Ontario, and right now he has his own family. He has got his own kid and all that up there. It was such the most miserable, longest like years I had to wait just so I can see if this girl is okay. And every day was a struggle, because any day I had nothing to lose. I was so reckless and just not giving a shit about anything. Like I know any day I could just snap and kill myself. I eventually moved out from Robert's place, and I got my own. I started settling up and doing my own thing, and try to get by and try to make my life more successful for myself and start off new from scratch. start building up on furniture and clothes and my jobs and just live life how you should be living it. But I couldn't live like that. I remember I got a gun and I loaded it because I felt alone and hurt. I just didn't feel like anything. I didn't feel like I should be here anymore. So I put the gun in my mouth and I held my breath and I was counting in my head. I held it. I was like, 1, 2, and I started crying. I put the gun down. I just couldn't go. I can't just leave like that with my brothers and my girlfriend not knowing why or was it what was going on with me. I couldn't just take off like that without any notes or anything. Like I was just gonna kill myself just on the spot. So I just lay in my bed and just cried myself to sleep. Eventually, after 18, 19 years, I finally found my dad. Like, we talked, he took me shopping, he got me a few clothes, and we went to eat at like A&W at a restaurant, and we talked a little bit, and I couldn't call him dad. I refer to him as dad now, so you guys, the viewers, know who I'm talking about, but I just called him Eric. He told me what happened, what was going on, why he couldn't do it, and why he couldn't be a father, and all that crap. And even to this day, my dad's not mentally there. I have no idea what he's on. So I kind of just didn't bother continuing with my father. My mom at this point she moved away from my town. She thinks she went to the town next, which is like 3-4 hour drive from here. So both my parents are out of the picture. Well, as if they were in the picture to begin with. So I think the only family members I have left that I feel that it's my family is my grandmother, who's like, her name is May, and her husband, which is my step grandfather, which is Georgie, and they both mean the world to me because they took me in and helped me out through a lot of. They helped me through a lot of stuff. And my best friends are my family. I have my aunt Sheena, who can relate to me. I got my aunt Jazz. I don't bother with my uncles. I don't bother with too much of the family on my mom's side. I don't know my family on my dad's side, so I'm very limited to what I have as a family. And it sucks because it's around that time too. My grandmother had gotten cancer. I was hurt because I'm gonna lose somebody that I actually do love, and that they were there for me through some of the hardest times. At this point, I was lost. And I couldn't find my way back. I think I isolated myself again and I pushed everyone away from me. I didn't want to have a family. I didn't want to have friends. I didn't want to have anybody. It was easier for me to leave that way. Just to end it without having them on your mind or on your back or in your thoughts. Just just to go without that guilt. But I still couldn't do it. I decided to take up meditation and start that over in my mental journey. So I meditated as much as I can. If I wasn't working, I was meditating. I didn't really play games. I didn't watch movies. I was, you know, traveling my mind, trying to figure stuff out and unlock a few things about me. And some of those journeys is where I found out about a lot of things about myself that I suppressed and locked away because I didn't want to remember. It's like I knew I was sexually abused, but now I remember it very vividly. I remember it, how it happened, and the faces and what they did. I remember some of the memories as a kid about my mom, how she beat me and how she tried to soften the blow and deny the things that she was saying to me, but I know because I remember them now. And it's not the things I made up, it's really the things that I have packed in the back of my mind, and I'm just pulling it out. And then I got to talk to my social workers because I was still under child's care. And I told them I want files, I want my life, my envelopes, my paperwork, all my everything about me. I want to know more. And so they gave it to me, and I didn't bother looking at them. Not yet. I wanted to see them on my own, and my workers are telling me that that's in there, make sure you're okay before you read them because it's going to be hard on you. And I said, I know, that's why I'm not looking at them right now. I was going to be patient. I was going to wait till I am physically and mentally ready to look through those papers. And then the book is like this thick, my whole file of my life. So I said thank you, and I took off, and I prepared my mind, I meditated, and I was going to be ready to see my life on paper. And I remember it very well. I took a shower and I was just meditating, listening to music, and trying to be tough. I got out, dried my hair, got dressed, laid the books out, and started to open the cover. And what was and how it was and what happened to me, it was more than I thought it was. And I'll continue on the next part.